You
on,
know,
Christian?
I've been sick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
And
you sound like yourself today.
and I kind of got a fever.
Oh, hey, that's good. There's a doctor in the house.
No! Wow.
Boom.
and yet my fever is gone.
Hey, look at that.
Just the mention of the good Dr. Kent Hovind joining us here today on the Random Kristian Show because it's Friday and it's for Andrew.
What?
We started exactly on time.
You're gonna spook it. Now you're gonna screw
No,
everything up.
it's
Now
never
you're
ever
gonna
gonna
screw
happen
everything
again.
up. For the next few shows, we're gonna be late.
Yeah. No, that now we'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
We're all fine here. How are you? Yeah, Dr. Kent Hovind. He's going to be on the show, and he's going to cure any kind of fever you got because the man's just a genius. He really is. He's been on the show before. Literally, I had nothing to say because I was just so blown away by. I mean, everything. It's like he would just start talking, you'd be like, well, what about now, because this, and then that's, I'm still tripping out about the ice ball theory.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Around the earth, because
yeah,
the logic behind it is so insanely wonderful. And I mean, because I've thought about it many different ways. I'm like, and I went back and I watched the show again so I could no, well, maybe he didn't miss that. Yeah.
I did.
So,
Last time he was on, I felt like I was back in school.
I felt really humble and stupid. And I'm sure if there's a cross between those two, it's hooped.
No, I like stumble.
Come on. Oh, all right. Where's the soundboard's down, Andrew?
Oh no, I repeat, the soundboard is down. I repeat, the soundboard is down.
The soundboard is down. There, the soundboard's back.
Hey.
Ah.
Oh, I almost...
Yeah, bruh.
Okay, yeah.
And could you hear that?
I did. No, the soundboard sounds great.
It does it? Because, I try to make sure.
There you go.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm not going to play with it. I'm stopping.
Thank you.
But we did get rid of... I know.
Don't say... We can't mention it. We're not allowed to mention that.
That we got rid of the...
Yeah, we can't. No, we're not allowed to say... Probably the most overused soundbite on podcasts.
It is truly the most overused.
We are now free of that sound.
We've been cleansed.
Yeah.
Clear. And it's all good. So no more. All right. No, I didn't say anything. I just mimicked the sound.
It's okay. I almost did it after you got the soundboard working.
Well, again, welcome to the show, kids. Friday afternoon, 4 p.m.-ish, at least on the Central Time Zone, unless you go all the way to where Andrew's at on the Pacific Time Zone, which is then 2 p.m.-ish, or hop over to the Rocky Mountains, which is 3 p.m.-ish, or completely skip everything, jump to the East Coast, and you're on the 5 p.m. time. So you're all already on the way home and getting snacks and getting ready to watch a movie or watch this show and enjoy our guest, Dr. Kent Hovind, creator of Dr. Dino Land down in, I believe it's Alabama, and also Creationist Evangelist. Well, we'll talk with some more about that anyway. I mean, like I said, the last time he was here, my head's still swimming from it, and it's been about a year. But it's right. It's almost been a year to the day.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, and just so. Not only is he just quick-witted and fun, but just I mean, he's debated so many people. I mean, major. I mean, scientists and whatever, and just hey, here you go. This is why God is real.
Yeah.
Deal with it. And so I just love it. I mean, I started watching his clips a long time ago. I just threw it out there one day. I'm like, hey, would you like to come on my little show? And it's like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And it was absolutely not only just informative and mind-blowing, but entertaining. I mean,
Yeah.
the man's got a great sense of humor. It really seems like nothing. He's kind of like the Captain Kirk of evangelism and creationism, I think, and proving that dinosaurs are or were real because they're really around. I guess chickens are still considered dinosaurs, aren't they? Or birds?
The birds. There are some birds that are still directly descended from, and there's a crazy, I don't know, called this crazy theory, but
if it's on this show, it's probably a crazy theory.
So there's a there's a theory going around that dinosaurs were feathered, that there were that it wasn't the skin that we have come to sort of see in the depictions, but apparently a lot of them were heavily feathered. I don't know. I haven't done my due diligence there, so
I'll bet the doctor knows.
I'm sure. Probably we should ask him about the feather theory because I'm interested.
They just had feather boas.
Yeah,
they did little dances.
Yeah,
T-Rex with its little arms.
So yeah, but we'll get there today. We'll ask some questions, and if you're in the chat, feel free to ask some questions there.
Yep.
So we will bring those up if we have time, and because again, he's one of our more divisive guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah, and
so there are a lot of people that feel very strongly on both sides of the issue, right?
Some very strongly on the other side of the issue.
Yeah. But again, if a question comes up and we have time to get to it, we will certainly present that to the good doctor.
Yeah. So please feel free, and we see a bunch of people tuning in. So thank you all very much for joining us here on the Random Kristian Show. We are humbled and so glad to have you along. All right. And also, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. So towards the end of the show, we'll remind you of what we've got coming up in the future weeks. But our main focus right now is creationism and the good doctor and his dinos. But I have no way to segue into what we've got. So
you were right there.
I was right there. Close because I forgot the random 9 list.
You forgot?
I didn't forget. I forgot what it was about. So this is why I didn't finish my notes. There's a couple things.
There's one line written on there. What's written on there? Don't forget to eat.
Well, I did that, which I almost forgot. Look.
Oh, hey, wow.
I have other cards here, Andrew.
Don't forget pants today.
That happened, but that's
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I forgot my shoes. But let's do the random 9 list.
9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed.
Oh.
Yeah.
That could be a good or bad thing. I'm thinking more.
Let's go through the list and find out.
Because
if it's a good or a bad thing,
right? And I'm gonna be super positive and say good, kind of, because I'm already imagining 5 really bad things that could happen.
Well, first one is a good marker for how the list is gonna go. Okay. Let's just put it that way, okay?
All right, so we're gonna. I'm sorry, I've been thick.
You're right. Yeah.
All right. Let's start it off with numero nuevo.
9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. Forget pigeons. Now you're dodging pterodactyl poop on your morning walk.
This is one of the things that instantly popped into my head when that happened. So, yeah.
Easier to find and easier to walk around, probably, but it just will take you a little longer because I'm sure it's sizable, right?
It would
Yeah.
probably, well, we could ask the doctor, I'm sure, but not
Yeah.
that he would be an expert in,
Yeah.
dinosaur feces, but I mean, I would imagine the size of a Volkswagen on
Right.
some, yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
or a Fiesta, maybe.
Right.
Alright, I
Well, so
guess,
there's Tyler chiming in right there. All birds are in the clade of Dinosauria. So there you go.
ah, see, our
Yeah.
audience knows so
Our
much.
audience knows.
I
Yeah. So
Nice, Dolores, thank
yeah.
you, thank you. Well, hopefully you follow us for the next
Right.
25
Yeah.
years, that'd be awesome.
But number 8, 9 random
Numero
reasons
ocho!
why issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. Jurassic Park reboots would be less sci-fi thriller and more documentary.
This is true, but think how much we'd learn.
Right. No, it's true. It's true.
Until the ones, that spit on you, that's
Yeah.
kinda pterodactyls are not dinosaurs, by the way.
Yeah,
Wow.
Tyler,
Hello, mister, I knew it all.
So this random 9 list is not based on scientific fact or any fact for that matter.
Neither is this show.
These are the ramblings of the stupid hosts for today.
Well, yeah, we have a team of crackhead
Right. Yeah.
researchers and lawyers that put
Yeah.
this list together. So please bear in mind that numero siete.
Of 9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed, every traffic jam would end with, sorry, T-Rex crossing here.
And the T-Rex is done crossing when the T-Rex is done crossing.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
don't honk. Do
Yeah.
not honk at the T-Rex. Just saying. That would be the bad thing to do. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. All right. Where are we at? Numero 6.
9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. HOA fines for having a brontosaurus eat your neighbor's landscaping. Astronomical.
I thought you were going to say kid for a second. I was like,
no.
Oh, they're vegetarians.
No.
But yeah, can you imagine? Oh, look at my prized juniper.
Yeah.
Somebody call the Owens and tell them their brontosaurus is in our front yard again. Well, technically, he could be in the other neighbor's yard, but eating 2 yards down probably.
Right.
Long neck. See, I learned some things in school. I know.
There you go. Yeah. You had to do a lot of studying in detention.
Well, yeah. When I showed up, but there was that too.
Yeah.
So I wish I could take my son to Dinosaur Adventureland. Love what you do, Mr. Hovind. All right. Well, Walter, awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll get your kids there eventually, man. It sounds like you're close, I'm sure. All right. Where are we at? 5 random things.
Number 5 of 9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. DoorDash would have to charge a velociraptor protection fee because if they leave it at your door, the raptors could just come and grab the food. So there'd be some extra fee in charge with making sure it actually got inside.
There has to be a velociraptor warranty or something.
Right? Yeah. Tip your driver and then velociraptor fee.
Yeah.
Right underneath.
Or at least leave a velociraptor treat to distract the velociraptor while you grab your food.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe the velociraptor just eat the driver and then you get your food. And then, right. I mean, who has to tip at that point, right? You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah.
There you go.
See?
There you go.
I'm always thinking, baby. That's what it's about. How about, what happened?
You break it? You break it?
I guess. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it quit working.
Oh, here's a good comment.
You guys are stupid. Thanks, Brandon.
We know this.
That's awesome.
That's why we invited Doctor on.
But he balances us out.
He's going to be smart for the whole show. He's going to be the smart one for the whole show.
Yay! All right. Okay. Well,
Number
the
4.
drum roll is broken. So yeah.
Okay. So
Numero cuatro.
9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. Camping trips would be way less s'mores and stargazing, and way more don't get trampled.
This is true.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is just shut down. So, boom, there we go. Well played. And let's just move on to numero 3.
Number 3.
It's back.
Hey, 9 random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. Working from home gets a little more exciting because you get the notification from your internet company that a triceratops has taken out your internet.
So triceratops basically works as Spectrum.
Right, exactly.
Yes. There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Spectrum, so efficient and well run. All right. Maybe triceratops run Spectrum. We just don't.
Maybe.
It's a secret society thing.
Yeah.
We'll ask the doctor. All right.
There you go.
Number 2.
Random issues we'd have if dinosaurs still existed. Gas prices might go down, but that's because velociraptors ate all the attendants.
What?
It's all self-serve now because you just can't stay out in the open anymore. Velociraptors are out there.
But so do you even get to pay for gas?
Well, I mean, it's self-serve. That still got to put your credit card in for it to activate.
I would just do the tap through the window and try and run out and put my fuel in real quick, and then get back in my car while it's fueling. And see, I've already got a plan.
There you go.
Survival instincts.
Yeah,
that's what keeps us above the monkeys. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Not really, but
right.
But imagine with
that's true.
Tyler, dude, yes.
Or would they have to change it to KFD now? Kentucky Fried Dinosaur.
Well, chicken.
That should be the number 1 random issue. It is now KFD, Kentucky Fried Dinosaur. That's our bonus one. That's our bonus.
Would they have to change their logo too?
I would absolutely.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So here it is.
Number 1 issue. We'd still have if dinosaurs actually existed today. Your cat would finally realize that it's no longer the apex predator of the house.
Real quick.
Right.
Real quick. Yeah. That would do it.
Yep.
Where's Boots?
Right.
Uh-oh. Did our little velociraptor take out a little kitty again? Yeah. And there's just a little tail hanging out of the velociraptor. Could you keep a velociraptor as a pet?
I'm sure there'd be legislation around it.
Wow, you're already going all the way to the White House. Yeah, there's legislation. We've got rules and we've got bindings and import papers.
I forget. I saw some graphic on Facebook the other day. Facebook, the old man's social network.
Yes.
About the states where it's legal to own a giraffe as a pet. And apparently there are a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Missouri one of them?
I have no idea. I immediately thought the graphic was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, it would have been cool to know. Thanks for taking notes.
Well, I'm so sorry. I
like to bring up interesting topics, but not take any real reference.
Well, I was a little distracted because
of velociraptors.
I had just finished my last batch of medium Mrs. A's famous salsa.
Oh,
yeah.
So you know who would love Mrs. A's famous salsa buena?
Who?
A velociraptor.
I think so.
Yeah. And probably T-Rex and probably any dinosaur with any good taste. They would love to taste some Mrs. A's famous salsa buena, which if they were in the Pacific through the Rocky Mountain time zones, they'd be able to find them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because all they'd have to do is go to mrsafamous.com and Google up their local store and see if they've got it or what store around them would be. So, that's all they'd have to do because there are 3 amazing flavors of Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. Andy, what are those 3 famous flavors?
My favorite, the medium.
Yes.
You know, and then there's the hot.
Yes,
But then there's
amazing.
Which is not so hot, but it's good. It's just got that right amount of kick to
got
it.
a little kick.
Yeah. But then there's your favorite, Chris.
Oh, that would be the salsa verde. Yeah. I rolled the R.
Right.
Because it's that good. It is amazing. It's delicious. And all fresh ingredients because that's how they like to do things. They keep it fresh. They keep it good. That's why it's in the refrigerated section. You can't find it canned. You can't find it jarred. It's in it's actually plastic containers. So that's how fresh they make it. They got to make it that fresh. They got to go boom, 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 boom. And then they take it to the refrigerator. It's refrigerated on the way to the store. It's not in some old truck, driving down the road and 50 miles an hour and 100,000 degrees inside a trailer. Nope. It's all fresh. It's delicious, kept refrigerated, and that's where you find it in the store. If you can't find it at the store you're looking for, go to your grocer and ask him, why don't you have any Mrs. A's famous salsa buena because I need it now? And then they would probably say, I'm very sorry, and we're going to put you in cuffs now.
The Random Kristian Show does not condone violence against grocery workers. Thank you.
No, we don't. Just the managers that order the food. But
the Random Kristian Show does not condone violence against the managers that order the food.
Okay, sorry, but it's so good. You really need to try it. So, if you are anywhere from the Pacific Coast to the Rocky Mountains, Google it up. Mrs. A's famous salsabuena.com. Plus, she's going to be introducing 2 of the fan favorite flavors, which is mango pineapple. Correct?
That's correct. And we'll see if you remember the next one.
The Red Delicious.
Hey!
We could hit the DJ air horn, but we don't have that anymore because
we weren't supposed to mention
every other podcast has
weren't
that.
Supposed to mention it.
I know, but So, let's see. What do we got?
Visit MrsAFamous.com. There are recipes. You can find a store near you, and it is the best salsa around. So.
It truly is, and it will make you happy, and all your food's delicious. Plus, she's got all sorts of amazing recipes on the website. You can buy some of her swag as you go along. Hey, Google her up on some of our shows because she's made some of this amazing food with that amazing salsa all at the same time. So check her out, MrsAFamous.com. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. Get it now. We got to come up with a little jingle.
We need a jingle.
Yeah. But you know who doesn't need a jingle?
Dr. Kent.
Our Dr. Kent. That's right. Our guest, our returning guest, shockingly enough, the man is so brave to be a part of this show. Hey, thank you so much for being with us, Doc. Thank you for coming back. So glad that you are here. So obviously, I think you may have heard some of our debates that we were talking about. So first off, dinosaur poop. Just curious, not that you're an expert on it, but like, would that really be kind of a problem if they were just roaming around, or do you think they were discreet and like did it near bushes or what?
Well, I guess I've never even thought about that. I know they have elephants, pretty large animals today that do that, and doesn't seem to be a problem.
This is true. Well, we were thinking like maybe if like they were in parades, that would be a big. You need bulldozers to follow along and kind of scoop things up. So I guess, where there's a will, there's a way. So thank you, sir, for being with us. We're so glad to have you back. How is Dino Land going along?
Brother, it is amazing. You've got to come see this place. It's free. It's right north of Pensacola, 70 miles in Lenox, Alabama. Dinosaur Adventureland.
Dinosaur Adventureland. I keep calling it Dino Land. I apologize.
Yeah, about a month ago, a guy called me from Ohio and said, Brother Hovind, I have the world's largest horseshoe crab in my backyard, and I'd like to give it to you. 67 foot long.
What?
Horseshoe crab. Yeah, it's amazing. I got pictures of it here somewhere.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's just come down and see
it. What is?
Going to paint it here soon. So.
What is a horseshoe crab doing in Ohio? It's not alive.
No, it's a fiberglass model, 67 feet long.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I was like, okay, there's some kind of radiation leak up in Ohio, and maybe that's not a crab, but you know.
If anybody thinks the horseshoe crab evolved, they are certifiably insane. It has blue blood. You can Google it. It has 10 eyes. It's amazing. We should have it all. You can come down and see it now. I'm looking for pictures of it here real quick. We should have it painted here soon. But
yeah,
the Bible is true. Evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. There's never been a dumber idea than to teach the kids they're related to a rock.
Okay, now let me ask you this: isn't evolution technically just a theory?
Well, it's not even a theory; it's a religion. You have to believe in it, and it depends what you mean by that word evolution. One of the things I do in my seminar, I've had 389 debates now with atheists on evolution. Let's define exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, just real quick, how many have you lost?
Oh, 0.
That's what I thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's right.
I do it sweetly in Christian love. You know, I whack them hard. We have a program every Wednesday night called Whack an Atheist. Like the whack-a-mole game, you know. Go on drdino.com. They took us off of YouTube like they do everybody else that teaches the truth. And
right.
So we're on 10 other channels. Go to drdino.com, DRDINO.
And I've got it on a crawler here.
See all the channels around there. Rumble, and I got them up on screen here. My slides go. Okay, there we go. Oh, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. I believe the Bible is absolutely scientifically accurate. God made everything. He made everything in 6 days. That's what he said he did. That would include dinosaurs. See, reptiles never stop growing. Never. The Bible says before the flood came, the people lived to be 900 years old. Here we go. Get 550 here. There. This chart I got up on the screen here. Before the flood came, Adam lived to be 930. Almost everybody before the flood over here this way is living to be 900. Read Genesis chapter 5.
Yeah.
What happened to a lizard if he could live to be 900 and never stop growing? The dinosaurs were simply giant reptiles that lived with Adam and Eve. They did not live millions of years ago, and they did not turn into birds.
Well, there goes our Kentucky Fried Dinosaur chain.
There's a lot of dumb ideas in the world, like the idea that there's 57 genders. I was in a debate with an atheist here recently, and he said, "Oh, there's more than 2 genders." I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you $20 if you'll come milk our bull. I want to watch you fly over the fence and play it on America's Funniest Home Video." If you want to believe that, fine. See, evolution is a religion. It's the only state-funded religion we have.
Good point.
For that to be taught to the kids, but no, it's dumb.
Yeah.
There's no evidence. You can't prove the Earth is billions of years old. You can't prove any animal has ever produced babies other than its same kind. It just doesn't happen. They can believe that if they want, but evolution is something. It's not even a good theory. See, a theory has some evidence to support it. First, you start off with a hypothesis. Let's just make a wild guess. It might fit into that category. But then once you get evidence and no evidence that goes against it, you can call it a scientific theory. Well, evolution is not even that. It's something you have to believe in. It's a stupid hypothesis. If you disagree, prove me wrong. Every Thursday and Friday night on my show, 7:00 Central Time, you can call in. We have people. The title of the show is "Evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world." Prove me wrong. Call in. You got a bunch of keyboard warriors that want to sit behind their keyboard and say, "Oh, evolution's a fact and Hovind is stupid." Well, come on, show the world how dumb I am. I'm looking for another debate. I can't find one.
Yeah, because so kind of like dinosaurs in a way, but not really.
Dr. Ken, is it possible to move the microphone a little bit closer to you? It seems some people are having some trouble hearing you here.
Well, yeah, I got a dinosaur microphone holder.
Oh,
nice. I love it.
My gosh.
Nothing but the best
that
around
is
here. Our Dinosaur Adventureland, the guy gave us 140 acres. It's an old gravel pit in Lenox, Alabama, and it is amazing. We now have 6 zip lines. We have 17 lakes. We have 12,000 square foot science center. I'm pretty sure we have Alabama's largest taxidermy collection that was donated to us. We have Jeeps. We give tours, take the doors and roof off the Jeeps and give tours. It's all free. 30 cabins you can stay in. Only problem we have well water. And I taught biology for 15 years. People don't know this, but if you drink well water, your babies will be born naked. So be prepared.
Oh my God. That like took me half a second. I was like,
Right. Yeah.
So,
So how many people day to day come to Dinosaur Adventureland?
It varies wildly. Sometimes we have whole church groups that come. We had a group of about 50 of them came from Pennsylvania down here to spend 4 days. Youth groups come. You can come by yourself if you want. We give 5 tours. We have an amazing playground with all kinds of cool science lessons. I taught science 15 years.
right.
And, love that. We have a petting zoo for all the kids. We have somebody donated 4 emus to us.
Oh, wow.
Well, one of them was not very friendly, so he ended up on the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Right.
Very friendly.
Now that's a chicken leg you can bite into.
Oh man! People say, "What did it taste like?" Emu, I guess. I don't remember.
Right.
Very large
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
from
But you know,
New
that's
Zealand.
good. A lot of people don't know this, but there's 3 signs of a genius. One is a poor memory.
Wow. Oh, there it is. There it is. Got the soundboard working on you there. All right. So now, going back to the well water. No, just kidding. All right. So now, yes, you've been in several hundreds of debates. What is like, and I'm sure you get invited to all these places. Is that correct, or do you just show up?
No, I get invited.
You get
I
invited.
used to, not anymore.
I was going to say, they finally go, well, this was a dumb idea. Who invited Hovind? Jeez. Now, what is the most disputed theory that they ask you to debate?
Oh, they give evidence of what they call microevolution, which is a lousy term. You know, there are now 339 breeds of dogs, Chihuahua to Great Dane. Okay, they probably had a common ancestor called a dog. See, in their mind, that's evolution. No, it's just a variation of the same kind. The Bible says 20 times in the first 7 chapters, they're going to bring forth after their kind. Nobody's ever seen an exception to that. There isn't a farmer in the world or in the history of the world that can tell you anything other than his animals brought forth the same kind. Cows always have baby cows. Pigs have baby pigs. There are no exceptions. Now, if you wish to imagine, you can imagine all you want. That's why I say evolution is a religion. Nobody sees any of it. They make these absolutely stupid family trees and put them in our textbooks. Boys and girls. Here we go. Yes, boys and girls, all the humans came from a protozoa, and you are related to a duck.
Dumb. Well, that would explain why I'm so quackers.
Well, and my last name is Drake, so I mean, a Drake is a male duck. So I must be, you know,
that's proof of something to somebody.
Right.
Somebody. Probably that one dude that kept commenting on your last video that you were on the show with, and I'm like, yeah, it's been over for a while now, dude. All right, so
tell them to call in. If they disagree with me, call in. I take the position the Earth is about 6,000 years old. It is not billions of years old. Dinosaurs always lived with man. They called them dragons or some other name. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. People lived with them. People probably killed many of them, calling them dragons or something. And there could be a few still alive. They're not near as big as they used to be. Before the flood came, the people lived to be 900. Oh, let's see, 550. There. After the flood, you see lifespans dropped off to 400, then 200, then 100. Today, hardly anybody makes it to 100. I believe that the climate was different after Noah's flood, and I cover on my video series. You can get the whole series, 18 hours for $50. And brother, when I started my ministry 35 years ago, I used to loan out my videos. I learned right away Christians don't steal, but they do borrow and never return. So I don't loan them anymore. Have you learned that already? Okay. Yeah. You buy it for $50, you watch it, you copy it all you want, and send it back and get your money back. Can't beat a deal like that. Okay?
Right.
So I cover 18 hours on there talking awful fast with thousands and thousands of slides documenting everything. The Earth is about 6,000 years old. There was a big flood 4,400 years ago that made everything we see as far as the surface features of the Earth, Grand Canyon probably formed in a week, not millions of years.
Right.
Grand Canyons are washed out dam.
Yes.
Yeah,
I actually saw you on a video talking about, and now didn't you go to the Grand Canyon or something like that, and you were pointing out the levels because there was a sediment.
I paid the $50 to take the helicopter ride down to the bottom. When we got down there, the guide said, "Folks, we just went back 300 million years." I looked at my watch. It was the same day.
You're like, I think you're a little off.
Back at all. So that's why I say it's the dumbest idea in the world. I'll show you a picture here. This ought to explain. Let's see, polystratiphos. All over the world, thousands and thousands of trees have been found, petrified, standing up, running through all these layers. They're claiming these layers are different ages. That is stupid. That geologic column does not exist anywhere in the world except the textbook. They say the top layer is younger than the bottom layer. I say, guys, stop and think. How could the layers be different age? Where did it come from? Is it coming from outer space? Every speck of dirt on the planet is the same age. Noah's flood rearranged them. During the flood of Noah, the moon is up there pulling on the water, but now the water doesn't bang into continents and get interrupted. So the tide can become harmonic. If the earth was just simply covered in water like Noah's flood, the tidal change would be 200 feet. Well, if the water's coming up 200 feet, where's all the water coming from to fill the bump?
Right.
Sideways. And it's a sideways movement of water back and forth for a year that made all the layers to the earth. The geologic column does not exist anywhere in the world except the textbook. There's no such thing as a geologic column. That gets them angry because this is their Bible. They like to think, oh, back in the Cretaceous period, back in the Cenozoic or the Jurassic, there's no such thing. Sorry, no such thing. All the layers formed in 1 year. Get a jar of dirt, sand, gravel, and water and shake it up and set it down. It'll settle into layers in seconds. You can watch it happen. I keep these things on my desk to make fun of the atheist. I say, guys, let's flip this thing over. It'll make 20 or 30 layers in a matter of a few minutes. Are the layers different ages? Is the top layer younger? If you shuffle a deck of cards, is the top card younger?
Well, the bottom layer was formed 3 seconds before the other layer.
See,
so technically it is older than...
Well, yeah. But see, the dirt's all the same age, all just waiting to land. It's the tide rearranging it. So yeah, that makes them angry. And I'm sorry. See, people love this evolution idea because it gives them freedom from God. I've asked atheists all over the world. I say, I got a simple question, guys. If evolution is true, how do you tell right from wrong on any topic? I say, it'd be wrong to go next door and kill your neighbor's baby and eat it. Oh, yeah. Well, the lion did it to the zebra today. Why don't you go get a sign, go to Africa, hold it up in front of the lion, stop eating your neighbor's baby. I will pay for the sign.
And see how long you last standing there.
That's right.
Because on the back of your shirt, it says bait. So,
yep. That's where I just believe the Bible's true and doing what it says. See, if God made this world, he owns it and he can make the rules.
Right.
And they don't like his rules. So they deny he exists. All the fossils that we see found in the ground probably formed in Noah's flood. They say fossils are evidence of evolution. I say, guys, if you find a fossil in the dirt like this trilobite, all you really could prove is it died. You could not prove it had any babies, could you? You can't prove it had babies that were different than itself. No animal today can do that. Why do you say a bone in the dirt can have babies different than themselves when no animal today can do that? That's not science. It's a religion. You believe in it. Congratulations. I admire your faith. But it's not science. It's a religious belief, nothing more. Have some of your guests called in. I'll take them on right now.
I'm still wrapping my head around that.
We do have a few comments in.
All right. So, okay, who's chiming in here? What do we got? Let's give the doctor some food to throw back at him. Who do you got?
Well, so let's see. Claude here is pretty loud in the chat here. He obviously wants, and you probably know the name, Dr. Ken.
That's Cloudy Bowels.
Yes, yes,
that's correct.
I get that once in a while too if I eat the wrong food. So
yeah. So again, he's asking.
he's got 5 people on his channel that watch him all the time. So he always comes on my channel trying to get more views. He wants to get attention. Hi, Cloudy, we see you. Okay. The layers are not, how can the layers be different ages? They say, well, that's the age it was laid down. Oh, so if I shuffle a deck of cards, is the top card younger now?
Yes, sure
That's
it
the
is.
logic.
It's
Every
that's-
speck of dirt in the world is the same age. This is dumb, real dumb.
in
Now,
a
if you want to
cloudy
believe
world,
otherwise,
it's hard to see.
believe whatever you want. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right. What's the next one, Andy?
No, it's basically Claude
Oh, is it?
taking over the chat here. Tyler West did bring up what Dr. Kent just said, that the layers are dated when they're laid down, not the material from which they're made.
Wait, stop and think about what you just said. If I shuffle a deck of cards, is the top card younger? Moving the dirt from here to here does not change the age of it.
Right.
Right.
How can it? And explain the petrified trees that are standing up, connecting all the layers. How can those layers be different ages? You guys want so badly to defend your geologic column, and I understand, because that's your excuse for rejecting God, so you can justify your immoral lifestyle usually, okay?
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Now, okay.
This was made up in 1830. No, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist anywhere except that I taught earth science for 15 years, okay? I'm very familiar with this topic. So I'm sorry, they're whistling in the dark.
Okay. Now, quick question, because going to the not just the yeah, there he is. That's the guy that keeps commenting on your video from last year. Now let's go to like the redwoods and stuff that when they cut them down, they've got the rings inside, and now they've dated them back, I mean, a few thousand years or whatever, but not like 3 billion years or whatever, So is that more proof that these theories that these people keep throwing, the evolutionists, is that part of, like, I think one of the biggest redwood trees that they ended up falling or cutting down and getting into, it had I think it said it was 4,000 years old or something, or 2,000 years old. That's just proof of what you're saying, that they're, I mean, because otherwise these trees, if they weren't, if they'd been around for billions of years, they'd be ginormous. They'd basically take over the world.
Well, yeah, the oldest tree they've been able to find, I think, has 4,800 rings, okay? Tree dating is not an exact science. Trees can produce 2 or 3 rings in 1 year. The soft ring and the hard ring, we've got a piece of bristlecone pine in our museum here. Come on down and see it. Tree ring dating is not an exact science. If the tree has a nice wet spring and lots of sunshine and it gets a good fast growth, you get a light colored ring. If it then has a hot, dry spell in the summer for a couple months, you might get a dark ring. Then it could have a nice fall again with more rain and more sunshine, and it gets another ring. Trees can make 2 rings a year. This has been known for a long time. Trees could occasionally produce 2 rings, 1 or more than 1 ring a year. Okay.
Okay.
So multiple growth rings. So it's interesting. It's good, but even then, it only goes back about 4,500 years.
Right.
The Bible says there was a flood in the days of Noah 4,000 years ago.
Imagine that.
Some trees could have survived the flood. Ark for a year. We do not know that lasted for 1 year everywhere. Some part of the world might have been underwater for 2 weeks. That's enough to drown everybody. So the fact that Noah was in an ark for a year does not prove anything about trees could have survived the flood. The purpose of the flood was to kill the people, right?
Right.
And some trees can be ripped out
to cleanse
and then reroot and grow again. It happens all the time in massive floods or landslides. The tree gets ripped out, it lands someplace right side up, and it starts growing again. Now it's already got a bunch of rings. So even if you could prove the tree ring dating is more than 4,500 when the flood was, that would not prove the Bible wrong. Because tree ring dating is not an exact science.
Absolutely. And do you believe in the rapture of the church?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I wrote a book on that. I did a video series on that. I have a chart behind me on that topic. The Bible says many, many times the church is going to be snatched out when he blows a trumpet. 1 Thessalonians, Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21. I used to believe the rapture took place before the tribulation, the 7-year period, and I had to change my theology on that. We're here for the tribulation.
Right. Okay.
Disciples. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on one second. Now explain the rapture and the tribulation real quick, so that way there's some clarity to other people, because I know there's been some confusion on this. So give us the explanation of the tribulation and rapture, please.
Okay, well, Jesus' disciples asked him in Matthew 24. Jesus had been talking about, hey, I'm going to have to leave, but I'm coming back. So they asked him in Matthew 24, hey, Lord, when are you coming, and what's the sign we should watch for? The
Right.
same thing in Mark 13, Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. Same story. He said, guys, I'm coming back after the tribulation when the sun and the moon go dark. Read Matthew 24 down in verse, 29. Immediately after the tribulation shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. They shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. The Bible teaches that at the end of time, there's going to be a 7-year period where things get really bad. Antichrist has always wanted to have a one world kingdom where he's God of the world. This is Lucifer. There's a 7-year period described as the 70th week of Daniel in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. At the end of that 7-year period, we're raptured out. Now, I used to believe, because some 13-year-old girl had a dream in 1830, that we get raptured out before the tribulation. And that dream spread like crazy with the Darby Study Bible and Schofield Study Bible. It's called the pre-trib rapture. I wish it was true, but it's not.
Right.
We're raptured out before the wrath of God falls. And the wrath of God, see, tribulation is what the world does to us. That's happening right now. Christians are being killed today in Ethiopia, having their heads cut off just for being a Christian. It's happening all over the world. So tribulation is not something God's doing. It's something evil men are doing.
Right.
Wrath is what God's doing. We are caught up to the marriage supper of the Lamb for about 3 years, and then the wrath of God falls on the world with the 7 seals, the 7 vials, and the 7 trumpets of Revelation. Then we come back with Jesus all the way down and touch down to the Mount of Olives, which splits in half. You're asking me to summarize, about my whole book. Get the book. It's on drdino.com.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and I want to get to this Nephilim question real quick, but now just real quick, because also a lot of people think that Satan is or Lucifer, the devil. Everybody thinks he's this big horrible ugly. Lucifer was one of the most beautiful angels in heaven. Am I wrong in saying that?
That's what the Bible says. He was disguised as an angel of light. He was real proud of his wisdom, his beauty, his power. In Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14. Yep, he was.
So and the master of deception. So that's why I think it's very funny that so many people think that the devil's this big ugly thing. Oh, that's what they want you to believe. But this beautiful thing that you're worshiping over here, that isn't God, that isn't Jesus, that more than likely the devil. So be paying attention, folks, because that's what it's all about. Distraction, looking the other way, and here you go. Oh crap. It's not God. Dang it. Oh well, it's too late now. No, it's never too late. You can talk to God. You can go to Jesus anytime. Trust me. I think this is an interesting question, a little out of realm, but do you think that the Nephilim will come back in the modern times, since Jesus said it will be like the days of Noah? Now, and I'm not trying to poo-poo this question, because it's a fairly legitimate question. And could that be UFO sightings? I know a lot of people think this kind of stuff. So what are your thoughts on that, Doctor?
Brother, I've studied that topic till my brain hurts. I've been saved 56 years. I've read the Bible many, many times. The Bible says there were giants in the earth in those days.
Yes.
They have found many skeletons of humans, 15 feet tall and more. There's many, many books on the topic. Lots of, I think, overwhelming proof. Now, as far as them coming back and are they UFOs, I have decided after intensive study that I don't know. I wish I could figure it out. Somebody else will have to preach on that. I'll stick with creation and dinosaurs and the.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and I know some people say that UFOs and aliens are actually angel sightings and stuff. I don't think that's quite right. But
Well,
uh,
UFOs, yeah, UFOs, there's no question what they are. They are unidentified flying objects.
Babylon, not Satan. Lucifer refers to Babylon, not Satan. Okay. Interesting. Well, there we go. All right. So now, now the Nephilim and stuff like that. I've also, and I know this is some other theories, but I remember reading how somebody said that the Nephilim, very few survived and moved on, and now we have Bigfoots, or you know, not Wookiees. What's the term for a Bigfoot?
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch and all that, yeah. Or Yeti. Do you think that it is possible that some Nephilim may have been something? Because obviously, Bigfoots or Sasquatches, Yetis, they are very large human-like creatures. Do you think that that is a possibility? And
Brother, I live in Lenox, Alabama, 15 miles from Evergreen, Alabama. Evergreen, Alabama is the Bigfoot capital of Alabama. There's supposed to be more sightings there than anywhere in the world. I've lived here 9 years. My brother has big feet, but other than that, I don't know.
So yes, another theory debunked. I get it. All right. So now we and I love the Andy. There was another quote. Okay.
Well, all right. So well, Claude is still blowing up the chat, and I am curious too. But I believe I asked this last time of you, and but what was your educational background in coming up to be an expert in all of this?
See, anytime they get to asking questions like that, that's proof that they're losing the debate on the issues. Okay, that's called an ad hominem attack,
right?
Which is irrelevant. Okay, I have 3 earned doctor's degrees from unaccredited universities. I have an honorary doctorate also. I taught science 15 years in high school, science and mathematics. If you have a specific topic where you think you have some scientific evidence for your religion, Cloudy, call it. I'd like to see it.
I now I can't unsee Cloudy at all. So and
Cloudy
Bowles.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What's this?
You drink the wrong stuff, you'll get that. Okay.
Right.
Trust me, 18 years sober now. I drank a lot of the wrong stuff. Could you explain or speak about dark matter at all? I'm not sure what that has to do with any of this, but
I don't think anybody can. What is it? See, the Big Bang Theory has many serious problems. Okay.
I was going to say, isn't that a flaw of the Big Bang Theory in a way?
Well, yeah. They say a dot smaller than a period on a page exploded. I'll show you here. Here you go. Cosmic evolution. Here is what they teach. There you go. Right here. Here's from the European Space Agency. Put my slides up there, brother, would you? Okay. Time, space, and matter all began with the Big Bang. In a fraction of a second, the universe grew from smaller than a single atom to bigger than a galaxy. You think the whole universe fit in a dot smaller than an atom? You can't squeeze a glass of water into a dot smaller than an atom. You're not going to fit the whole Pacific Ocean in there. This is extremely stupid. Tell them I said so. If you wish to believe that, fine, but that's not science. The whole universe fit in a dot smaller than an atom. And then it exploded. I say, guys, stop and think. It didn't explode. It rapidly expanded. They're now getting around the stupidity of it by saying, well, the stars aren't really expanding. The distance between them is increasing.
Are you serious? That's a new explanation?
Try that when you get stopped by a police officer. Officer, I was not speeding. The distance between my house was increasing.
Yeah, I tried that, but I ended up going to jail anyway. So
okay. So the Big Bang Theory is so. I think the devil's got to be laughing. He's got people to believe some of the dumbest things lately: the flat Earth, the Big Bang, the life coming from non-living material, the 57 genders. All the demons they've got to be laughing. they say, hey, I bet I can get people to believe dinosaurs turned to birds. You couldn't get them to believe that. Oh yeah, you watch. There's enough suckers. There's plenty of suckers out there.
So,
New one
so
born every minute.
basically, Satan and his demons are the ones going, "Hold my beer,"
That's right.
and stepping up and going, "I got a new one. Watch this."
Yep.
Penguins. Trust me, this is going to be fun. The men guard the eggs. Yeah. No, I mean, then, okay. And honestly, you answered their question, and not that they're stupid, but they're trying to, these people are trying to get clarity. So I think that's a great explanation and an answer, because it shows the validity of the whole process of God. This, how it's constantly, and it's still expanding. Oh wait, no, the stars are just, I mean, come on. It's almost like listening to a politician, because the answer keeps changing. Once you start asking the right questions, they go, hold on, well, let me circumvent that and come back and give you the same answer, but just in a different form. So it's absolutely funny. Okay, I'm sorry. What's this say? Could Goliath be proof that Nephilim made it through the flood? I think, yeah. Goliath.
Yeah, and Goliath had 4 brothers. David picked up 5 stones.
Yeah.
Goliath had, and the new Bibles have messed it up bad. They say somebody else killed Goliath. Get a King James Bible. I covered that on video number 7. Why you better stick with that. The other ones have some serious problems. So Goliath is. It says he was 6 cubits in a span. That would be nearly 10 feet tall, which is huge. But there have been guys like Robert Wadlow, 8'11", nearly 9 feet tall. So gigantism is still possible today. He was in St. Louis back in 1920s. When I preached there, I met some ladies that went to school with him, maybe 1940s or 50s. Anyway, they said, "Oh yeah, we went to school with Robert. He was really tall." Yeah, right. Size, huge. But so I think they're even much bigger than that, though. Before the flood, I mean, much bigger than 9 or 10 feet. So there's plenty of skeletons to show that.
I was going to say, and there's actual physical proof, and you're not debating any of these skeletons or bones from the dinosaurs. You're actually saying, yes, these all existed. Like you said, I mean, yeah, back in medieval times, they talked about slaying dragons. Okay, were they fire breathing? Hardly, but they, I mean, and that's man creating their own image of something to dramatize it or whatever. But yeah, maybe there was some vicious velociraptor or something that was living in a cave and surviving and causing problems for the local farms or something. So a knight goes out and slays it, and there it is. Boom, it's done. So
if you get my video number 3, it's all about dinosaurs mentioned all through history, dinosaurs in the Bible, and dinosaurs that may still be alive. There are plenty of sightings, and ancient artwork shows dragons are living with people. The Ica stones, ICA, just Google Ica, Peru. In Ica, they found 50,000 stones carved by the Ica civilization back 500 years ago. Hundreds of them have dinosaurs and humans on them together. This is 500 years ago. How did they know this? Well, they lived with them. There's ancient artwork. Just watch my video number 3. I've got a whole collection. There's a, what's that, Joseph, that place in New York, the Creation Museum up there, the guy's got the, what is it? Lost World Museum. He's got a bunch of the artwork showing here. Why did they put a dinosaur pulling a chariot from ancient artwork? So
wow.
If somebody says dinosaurs lived millions of years ago, they are really they're not up to speed on their science. The cheese done fell off of their sandwich, okay? They're a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
All right. And just for the people on the audio version of this, we got Dr. Kent Hovind, Creationist Evangelist. Is that basically the best title for you?
Oh, the atheists call me much worse than that. You would not believe this stuff. One of them called me the Hulk Hovind of creationists.
That's funny.
I think that's actually kind of cool and complimentary.
There's a whole show they did on the world's the most hated man on the internet. No, guys, I have met a lot of people in my life, okay, and I would have to humbly say I'm the nicest guy I've ever met.
Right.
I find you absolutely enjoyable and pleasant, and so kind. I mean, you're putting up with us, for God's sakes.
Right.
If you want to find out any more about any of this, or get these videos, you can go to drdino.com, DRDINO.com. That'll take you to all his sites. You can find, and now you do a show every or twice a week, correct?
6 times a week. Yep.
Six,
Every
oh,
night,
6 times a
7
week.
o'clock, and Sunday morning, 10:30. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Stay in one of our cabins. We'll give you all the tours around here. Our playground tour is amazing. Our science center is phenomenal. Our Jeep tours around the 140 acres. Yeah, it's all free.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's all free. So, I mean, what a great place to take your kids and learn a little bit more, not only about God, but the world that he created and gave to us. Let's see, what's this? Geo Fubar. In your opinion, when did the Missoula flood happen compared to Noah's flood and the carving of the Grand Canyon?
My guess would be Grand Canyon formed 100 years after Noah's flood. If you plugged up Grand Canyon today, if you filled it full of dirt, I know it would take a lot of dirt, but if you filled it up, you can trace the elevation lines all the way back to New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. There would be a giant lake called the Grand Lake is the name of it. It's gone. The lake's gone. What happens when any lake gets too full?
Well, it's got to drain out somewhere.
And when it goes over the top, it starts eroding the other side, and the erosion eats its way backwards. The water's flowing this way, but the erosion's coming this way. Grand Canyon probably formed in a week as the Grand Lake overflowed its dam.
Right.
We got this property. We had one of the biggest lakes here was dry because the dam had broken. So we built a small dam to hold the water back for a few weeks so we could fix the big one. Then when we got it all fixed up, ready to go, I said, guys, get the cameras, watch this. I cut a notch 1 shovel wide, 4 inches deep on the top of the dam. The water started going over the top. In 4 minutes, that notch was 8 feet wide. In 7 minutes, the whole dam was gone, washed it out. Joseph, did you find that on the internet anyplace? Dam break at Dinosaur Adventureland. It was on there once. A 7-minute video of the dam washing out in 7 minutes. Grand Canyon is the same thing on a much bigger scale.
I was going to say far grander scale.
Dams wash out all the time, and it doesn't take millions of years. It takes lots of water.
Right.
So Grand Canyon probably took a week. I'll give them 10 days, okay, but not millions of years.
Now, and just because I think it's just such a huge reference point for so many people and geologists and scientists, you almost had to become an expert about the Grand Canyon, didn't you? Because there's so much that is referenced through there, and especially in evolutionary theories.
Well, brother, the word expert scares me. I looked it up. X is a has-been, and a spurt is a drip under pressure. I don't want to be one of them. Okay.
Jeez. I'm sorry.
I've studied this intently for 56 years. Yeah. I think I heard all the questions.
Right. Yeah. The Bible's right. Bing. There we go. Nailed it. All right. And now, do you have any new specials coming out soon? Do you have any new books, videos, or were you just sticking with what you've got for right now because you pretty much nailed it in all what you've done?
Well, I've written 67 books in my career. I've made tens of thousands of videos. We make a new one every night. There'll be one tonight at 7 o'clock. We record everything and put it up online. You're welcome to call in. Tonight's open mic. Call in with a question.
Yeah, Cloudy.
I'll defend the position. The Bible is correct. The earth is 6,000 years old. The flood of Noah 4,500 years ago probably made all the fossils we see. Fossils aren't forming today. How many animals died in the last 5 years? Like millions. Colonel Sanders killed a whole bunch himself. And none of fossils. Fossils are from Noah's flood, probably nearly all of them.
I wonder how many fossils are in his backyard.
So the fossils are evidence that something died and was buried rapidly. They're not evidence for evolution. I tell people there is no fossil record. If you find a fossil in the dirt, you should notice right away it doesn't talk.
No,
and it doesn't. It doesn't have a date stamped on it. You have to make up when it lived and make up a story of all this. Evolution is nothing but a fairy tale for grown-ups.
Okay,
That's all
now
it is.
that's a good point. You see, you brought up the point of dating. Okay, so when these guys are doing their geo dating or uh, the cellular dating and stuff, where is the logic in that? That is all theory, correct?
Well, if you're going to try to date an object, especially if you want to use carbon dating, okay, or even
Okay,
if you
yeah,
radiometric dating, it's extremely stupid. I cover this in great detail on video number 7. You
okay,
dig up a fossil and you check it and find out it has a certain amount of carbon-14 because it's radioactive, and you can pick it up with a Geiger counter, click, click, click on your Geiger counter.
yes,
So you'd like to find out how long it's been dead. Okay. So you compare how much carbon-14 is in the fossil compared to how much is in the atmosphere. And you say, wow, we know it decays, 5,730 years for half of it to leave. So if it's got half as much as in the atmosphere, it's been dead 5,730 years. It goes from a half to a fourth to an eighth to a 16th to not measurable, okay?
okay,
So when you're dating any fossil with carbon dating, you are assuming that it lived at a time when it had the same carbon-14 in the atmosphere that we do now. The Bible teaches there was a crystal canopy around the world before the flood came.
Ooh, there it is. I love this. This is my favorite
Water
part.
above the firmament. It says in Genesis 1, the birds fly in the firmament. That'd be the air. There was
Right.
water above that. The Jews have always taught there was a 2 or 3 finger thick layer of crystal canopy all completely around the world. The earth was surrounded like a big greenhouse or terrarium.
Right.
It could have been held up by either magnetic field, because super cold ice is magnetic, or held up by air pressure like a big inflatable building. As long as there's no holes in it, it stays up there. So that crystal canopy would block out UV light, and they would have less C14 in the air before the flood than we do today. C14 is still increasing. They've done studies on this. The carbon-14 in the atmosphere is still increasing. So you can't measure anything with it. You have a rubber ruler. You'd have to know when it lived to be able to figure out when it lived. It's dumb, real dumb.
This is where I go, now, oh my gosh. See, and I've gone back and watched when you were on last time and you started explaining that. Now, if it's blocking out the UV, would that also explain the longevity of life at that point?
That's one of many things that would explain. Plus, the increased air pressure would mean every time you take a breath, you get more oxygen in your lungs. The plants could breathe easier. Everything was huge before the flood. They find coal seams in Wyoming that are 300 feet thick of solid coal. 300 feet. I debated Jeannie Scott at Berkeley University, the National Center for Science Misinformation. And she said, Hovind, there is so much coal in the world right now, it would take billions of years to form that. She said, if you took every tree and blade of grass and plant in the world today and compressed it into coal, you could not form all the coal in the ground. I said, that's correct. She said, well, that proves it took billions of years. No, that proves the world before the flood had more trees.
Right.
Lots more trees. The Bible says he formed it to be inhabited. Well, here, today, 3% of the earth is habitable. 3%. 70% is underwater, oceans. 10% is still under ice caps. Another 10% is under deserts. And then there's mountain ranges. 3% of the earth is habitable for mankind. What we're seeing is a junkyard compared to what Adam and Eve saw. They lived in a world that was habitable from pole to pole. They find trees, they find redwood tree stumps up near the North Pole, Axel Island. So I think the pre-flood world was mostly land. Today it's mostly water. And it had this canopy overhead protecting it. That would increase air pressure. The 80-foot Apatosaurus, this guy right here, 80 foot long, has nostrils the same size as a horse. How could he breathe? He couldn't breathe today, but he could then. They had greater air pressure and richer oxygen. When
Thus
trees break,
explaining the extension as soon as that.
Well, when trees break, the sap oozes out and it hardens into a substance they call amber.
Right.
If you saw Jurassic Park, they drilled into the amber to get the mosquito blood out and all this kind of stuff. Well, in amber, we got a bunch in our science center here. There are frequently air bubbles trapped in amber. When they drill it through and suck the air bubble out and analyze it, it's 35% oxygen. The air we're breathing right now is only 21%. I think the world before the flood was 35% oxygen and double air pressure, which means you could run for hundreds of miles without getting tired. Adam and Eve didn't need a car. They could run to grandma's. Grandma. But
Over
anyway,
the hills
or
and through
mother-in-law,
the
by the
woods.
way. That's
Right.
why it was paradise. But no mother-in-law. So I think the world before the flood was different. They find pterodactyls with 50-foot wingspan. They could not possibly fly today. The air's too thin. When I climb Mount Rainier, it's hard to breathe up there, and it's only 3 miles high. You get up to Mount Everest, 5 miles high, you got to carry oxygen with you. Very few people have climbed it without oxygen.
Yeah.
And it's only 5 miles. I think today the atmosphere goes out, say 40 or 50 miles, space shuttle can tell you, and it floats up and down with the tide, just like the oceans do. But if you took all the air in the world and squeezed it into 10 miles, it would increase air pressure at the surface to probably double what it is today. If you lived in a world with double the air pressure and richer oxygen, 50-foot pterodactyls could fly no problem. I can swim through water. I can't swim through air. I can't flap fast enough. Okay? Birds can, but I can't. And so it's just a matter of the density of the air that would be increased with the crystal canopy. Now, some creationist groups do not believe in what's called the canopy theory. I know. They're wrong. I'm right. Okay?
So to that. Now you were talking about the poles, the polar poles, and their icy layers. And everybody's talking about how they're all starting to disappear and all that. Is now back when our crystal was around the earth, those weren't there then. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Right. I believe what the Bible says, the fountains of the deep broke open at the beginning of the flood, probably launched rocks up and shattered the canopy. That crystal canopy, being made of super cold ice, would be magnetic. Just Google magnetic ice. If you get ice down to 400 below zero, it becomes magnetic. So the ice
Which could easily do in outer space.
Sure. Outer space is that minus 459.5, whatever it is, absolute zero.
That's what I'm saying. So
273 Celsius or 0 Kelvin. Who cares? Okay. It's interesting. The Earth has a north pole that we spin around. It also has a magnetic north pole where the compass points. And that magnetic north pole is moving all the time, but it basically in Canada. I think it's migrating more toward the real North Pole now. But even just 50 years ago, the magnetic North Pole was in Canada. And you had to adjust your compass for called the angle of declination, because your compass is pointing magnetic north, not true north. And so you can Google that angle of declination. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The effects of the ice age are centered around the magnetic North Pole. The ice came clear down to Kansas City, Missouri, but in Russia it didn't go as far down. Why? Because the ice got dumped on the North and South Pole probably rapidly, probably snowed 10 feet a minute during the beginning of this. The ice age happened at the beginning of the flood. That's why they find animals frozen standing up. Have you ever been in snow so deep you couldn't even fall down? You can't fall over.
Yes.
Okay? I think that happened. The mammoths are found frozen standing up with food still in their mouth, and the food in their stomach is not digested. After you die, your stomach acid keeps working. You don't know you're dead. How do you get frozen mammoths? That's a hairy elephant standing up with food still in their mouth. You bury them and they're suffocated. There's no water in their lungs. They died of suffocation. That would be, they died in a big snowdrift. I think the snow got so deep so fast, it started pushing out toward the equator like an avalanche or landslide. And that's why we find glacial grooves all over places up there. When you study earth science, you see the effects. A glacier, when glaciers push out, they plow ahead of them a pile of rocks. When they melt back, they leave the rocks behind. It's called a terminal, which means the end, a terminal moraine. A moraine's a big hill, a range of rocks, okay? They're all over Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Minnesota. Terminal moraines, lateral moraines. Those all formed at the time of the flood. So the ice caps were huge. And more North and South Pole. Of course, after you get off Antarctica, you're into the ocean, so it's hard to find the effects of it in the bottom of the ocean. But it's easier to find the effects in Missouri, okay? The ice caps were huge.
Thank you.
So Noah was in the ark for about a year, and the whole world's covered in water, some of it frozen, some of it liquid. It would take 500 years, 400 years for that ice to melt back to where it is today. So when Noah gets off the ark, this is going to sound strange, the ice caps were still huge, which means the oceans were smaller because the water's frozen, stuck at the North Pole. That makes the continents bigger. If you look at any map, just Google continental shelf. All of the continents have a shelf. Like in Pensacola, You have to go out 100 miles before it gets 100 feet deep.
Yeah.
That was the beach out there. If you lowered the oceans average 12,000 feet right now. If you took 200 feet of water out of the oceans and froze it and stick it on the North and South Pole, enlarge the ice caps, that makes the oceans smaller, and that makes everything connected. You could walk to Australia. Between Australia and Vietnam, all Indonesia, the archipelago in here, that water is generally 30 or 40 feet deep, from here to that wall over there.
Yeah.
If you lowered the oceans 200 feet, you could walk anywhere in the world. England has got a channel between it and France, the English Channel.
Yes.
It's 30 miles wide, but it's only about 100 feet deep. If you lowered the oceans 200 feet, England would be part of France, making the British very upset.
But well fed.
Yeah. So I think that the ice age happened at the beginning of the flood, lasted for a few hundred years afterwards. So animals had time for several hundred years when they got off the ark to migrate anywhere they wanted. So atheists said, how did the kangaroos get to Australia? Well, they hop. That's how they get everywhere. You could hop right down there. Then as the ice melts back, the water's coming up, and all of a sudden they're trapped on an island, what used to be a peninsula.
Right.
So in the 6,000 year history that is the Earth, when did that ice age happen?
Right at the beginning of the flood.
Okay, so and when was
4,500 years ago in Noah's
4,500 years ago? Okay.
All right. So, and now we've got someone asking again. Scientists say that the lake drained 8,000 years ago. When did it happen, in your opinion?
As far as talk about the Missoula flood, I think after the flood was over, the Bible says in Psalm 104, the mountains lifted up. The mountains arose and the valleys sank down. If you covered the earth in water, and then you had a chunk, the earth was all busted up like an eggshell. It still is today, busted up. We have fault lines everywhere, the San Andreas fault, the Hayward fault. None of them are my fault, but okay, we've got lots of faults. Some of them are still moving, and we have earthquakes and volcanoes along the fault lines. Well, if you had a chunk of earth the size of Texas, let's say, it's covered in water, all of a sudden one side sinks down, one side lifts up. The water's going to rush off. How fast it tilts is going to determine how fast the water rushes off. And pockets of water are going to be trapped all over the place. Natural depressions, be a natural lake. And some of them are still here. Some of them got too full, went over the top at the lowest place and carved a valley. And now the lake's gone because you have a way for the water to get out. This all would have happened in the first few hundred years after the flood. It's interesting to look at the globe and see nearly all the mountain ranges in the world follow the coastline. The Rocky Mountains follow the North Pacific. I wonder why. The Appalachian Mountains follow the North Atlantic. The Andes Mountains in South America follow the South Pacific. Even the Alps in Europe, they follow the Mediterranean generally. I think that was a small area that caved in, water rushed in, filled in the Mediterranean, and left the Alps behind sticking up. So I think all this would have happened during the flood and several hundred years after that. We still have lakes that are getting too full and overflowing. I'd like to see, Joseph, can you find the documentation? Somebody told me the Spanish sailed down the California coast in the 1700s and could not find an opening to get in. It was rugged mountains all the way down. Now we have the San Francisco Bay. If you closed up where San Francisco Bay is, that might be a good idea for several reasons. But there's a mountain range in Northern California and a mountain range in Southern California. I lived in Fairfield for 3 years. If you closed up the gap between them, a huge lake would fill up in Central California, giant lake. That lake got too full at some point. I've been saying in my tour, and I've been saying maybe 100 years after the flood, it might have been as recently as 300 years ago. But anyway, the lake got too full, went over the top. Once the erosion starts, get out of the way. So the Missoula flood is probably from a giant lake left over from Noah's flood that could have happened 100 years after the flood or 500 years after the flood. If they're telling you this lake drained 8,000 years ago or something, how on earth can you possibly know that? How could you possibly know such a thing? Well, we date the layer. No, that goes back to the carbon dating and the stupid geologic column. No.
I was going to say, and then we go back to all the other theoretical and all right. So now does this help also explain like the Great Salt Lake and the Dead Sea and things like that? Because basically and obviously I'm not very smart, but I've heard theories that like the Dead Sea was just a concentration of the seas, and that's why it's so salty, and it's a concentration of the sea waters. Same thing with the Great Salt Lake. Is there any logic to that at all, or no?
Oh, absolutely. The ground contains all kinds of different mineral salts,
Yes.
magnesium chloride and all kinds of different salts. Okay, sodium chloride. When it rains, some of that mineral salt gets into the water and runs off into the ocean eventually. Today, the oceans are 3.6% salt. They could have gone from fresh water to 3.6% salt in less than 5,000 years because the water runs in and evaporation takes out only the water, leaves the salt behind. It's a big distillery, okay?
Okay.
Why is the ocean so salty? I believe during Noah's flood, the whole world was fresh water. And when Noah got off the ark, everything is fresh water, but the mineral salts washing off the ground have slowly contaminated the ocean and got it saltier very gradually. And some animals have had to adapt to salt water. We now have saltwater crocodiles and freshwater crocodiles. And they probably had a common ancestor called a crocodile. Doesn't prove they're related to bananas.
Say, let me guess.
Yeah. So today, now the Great Salt Lake and in Utah and Dead Sea in Israel, they don't have an outlet. The water runs in, evaporates, and is constantly building up salt with no way to dissolve it, no way to get rid of it. So they're 35% salt, 10 times saltier than the ocean. When I was in Israel, I went swimming in the Dead Sea. I mean, it's like the water's so heavy. You jump in and you pop to the surface. You can lay there almost on top of the water and read a book.
Yeah.
But if you got a scratch on your body, you will find it right away, okay? 35% salt. So during Noah's flood, Noah didn't have to bring any water with him. He's living in an ocean full of fresh water. And I'm a strong believer that Noah's Ark probably had 5 or 6 moon pools. You have a hole in the bottom of the boat with a wall built up inside, so that as you go over a wave, the water can go up and down inside your boat partway. It doesn't go into the, just in the structure. And that acts like a big piston to pump fresh air in and out. Might need that with the animals on board. Plus, if the ark is 51 feet tall, it's probably riding 20 feet down in the water at all times. Okay, the draft of the ship. Okay, so all your moon pools are full of 20 feet of fresh water. You want to water your animals? Put a valve in there, turn the valve, water your animals. You got to take a shower. You're living in fresh water. So
right.
Atheists say, oh, Noah couldn't carry all that water on board to water those animals. That's true. He didn't need to. He's living in it. So the oceans are gaining salt. It's a common, any earth science textbook will show you stuff like this. The rain brings the salts off the ground into the ocean. Evaporation takes it out, leaving the salt behind. The oceans are getting saltier. Nobody argues about that. They're still gaining salt today. They're saltier now than they were 500 years ago.
Yeah.
But they're only 3.6% salt. They gain salt, and the rocks on land are the major source of salts dissolved in seawater. National Ocean Service. Why is the ocean salty? I mean, this is not, everybody understands this. It's not hard to figure out. The question is, why aren't they saltier if they're billions of years old? Why only 3.6%? Why isn't the ocean like the Dead Sea? Because it's not millions of years old. That's why.
Well, there's that. Now, let me ask you this. Is this part of the theory about how like the Great Barrier Reef is starting to lose part of the Great Barrier Reef because of the salt and all the things getting mixed back into the ocean? Would that be a contributor to it, which they'll call pollution or whatever?
Well, I guess I never thought about that. I've been to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and they talk funny over there. But the oceans are gaining salt. Now, is the gain in salt affecting the Great Barrier Reef? Is the pollution affecting it? I really don't know. It's awfully big.
Right. Now, I know I've seen some things, the Great Barrier Reef is starting to disappear. And so I was just curious, if you think that might be a contributor to it, but it's kind of off point.
Watch out. A lot of this global warming kind of stuff and man's going to destroy the planet is really an ulterior motive behind it. They want to get an excuse to tell you more of how you can run your life. Okay. It's an excuse for more socialism, communism. You got to have a permit now to get a plastic bag or something like that. Okay. the Great Barrier Reef may be falling apart. I don't know. Okay. I know this, like what they burn fossil fuels. The people out there, stopping traffic saying, stop burning oil, holding up a plastic sign, which is made out of the same stuff. But when you burn fossil fuels, it releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, CO2. Oh, that's dangerous, a greenhouse gas. No, the plants love it. That's what plants live on. When you burn more fossil fuels, the plants around there grow faster and they absorb it right away. I don't think we can affect the environment like they're saying. But it's an excuse. See, when the Lord told Satan in the Garden of Eden, after they sinned, Adam, you got to work for a living. Eve, you're going to have pain in childbearing. He said, serpent, you got to crawl on your belly. Which, of course, it's not a curse to crawl on your belly if you're already crawling on your belly. So either he had arms, legs, or wings, or maybe all three, but he lost something. Then he told the serpent, someday some seed of the woman is going to bruise your head. And ever since that day, Satan has been trying to kill every human being on the planet by whatever means possible. When Herod wanted to kill baby Jesus, what did he do? Killed them all. Killed all the babies, okay? Satan wants to reduce the population by wars, famines, all kinds of medical malpractice kind of stuff. And I think the global warming is just an excuse for countries like China to say you can only have one child per family. Stuff like that. Don't lower the population. It's really he doesn't know he's going to bruise his head. He's just going to try to kill everybody. The Georgia Guidestones, they said 10 commandments for a new world order. One of them was maintain humanity under 500 million. There's already 8 billion people here. How are you going to maintain it under 500 million? You got to kill 7.5 billion people. That's their goal. It really is their goal. And they want to use this global warming scare as part of it.
Right.
People say, Brother Hovind, do you think the world's overcrowded? You could fit everybody on the planet right now. 8 billion people could fit inside Jacksonville, Florida. It'd be crowded like an elevator, but the world's not overcrowded. Come drive across southern Alabama. You think it's overcrowded? Listen, if it's overcrowded where you are, move.
True. Quit building up. Just move out.
Spread out.
There you go. All right. So, and now Annalise just popped in here real quick and said that they live in South Africa, I think it was, or Africa. Yes, and they raised their kids on your creation science videos. Okay. Awesome, Annalise. Thank you so much. A lot of great knowledge there, and God bless knowledge as well. Doctor, I know we're starting to run short on time, and I really, really, really can't thank you enough for being with us. Now, you're on 6 days a week, correct?
And then Pastor Meister, who lives here, does 2 more sermons every week. So we have 8 shows a week going up. Just go to drdino.com. Up here in the top corner up there, you'll see it. Point this way. Okay. All of our channels are listed right there. And you can call in or send in questions anytime.
Yeah, there you go, Cloudy.
Cloudy Bowles. We're living into about 1 a year. Okay.
Right. No, and he's really hammering home. He wants to know exactly what institute that you majored in math and science in. He wants the name of the institute.
Cloudy, look at me, Cloudy. I dropped out of kindergarten. Okay. Forget the degree. I dropped out of kindergarten, but I studied really hard, and I know a whole lot, okay? I'll take you on a debate anytime. Why don't you call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4. Joseph, book Cloudy for a debate.
Let's do that.
Oh, my gosh.
No interrupting. One topic at a time, equal time. You go first. Give me the best evidence for evolution. It does not matter what my degree is. Does not matter.
It really doesn't.
Animals always produce after their kind. Cows produce cows. I bet a farmer that dropped out of 7th grade and ended up being a farmer the rest of his life, he still knows cows produce cows, doesn't he? Yeah. Why do you get on this degree stuff? Because you don't have any evidence for your stupid evolution religion. That's why.
Yes. So
divert attention.
There, I was going to say just another way of diversion. All right, so Cloudy, there you go. You've got the number. Let's say that number one more time. 855 BIGDINO. 855 Big Dino. Call him. Set up a debate time, and I would love to watch this happen. That would be 390 wins for you, sir. So there it is. Doc, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. It is just so I just love hearing you talk. And you answer every question clearly and unafraid. I just can't thank you enough and so appreciate you. and all that you do. If I ever can make it down there, I am calling you up and saying I'm coming, and I want a zip line. That's where I'm going to be zip lining if I get to do it. All right.
Now, brother, we have our zip line goes right into our Noah's Ark we're building. We're building 172
cool.
foot.
Oh, Andy.
Very cool. Yeah.
But listen,
Andy.
I warned you about the well water. I got to warn you one more thing before we go.
Oh no.
Our cook is incredible. Free meals, he'll feed you, but they continually serve iced tea. Iced tea is dangerous. There was an Indian one time that drank 4 gallons of iced tea, and that night he drowned in his teepee. I taught high schoolers 15 years. It messed up my brain, okay?
The public schools will do that to you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Dr. Hovind, you can find him at drdino.com, DRDINO.com. He'll be on his show here in just a little while. In the meantime, sir, thank you again so much. Would love to have you back another time, man, if you're ever willing.
Anytime. All right. Thank you, guys.
Doctor, have a great day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he is so great, man. And Cloudy, I'm sorry, man.
But it's funny. These debates, especially with these people, are always interesting. Where you are very divisive in a way of your opinions and your thoughts on things. And I am all for constructive debate. And it's funny too, because I don't know when he taught high school if you needed to, because Claudia is saying that he mentioned that he majored in math and science, but
I know science. He must
have.
And
Claudia's big thing is he wants to know where he wants to see documents. And and again, I understand why, because you're putting science content out there, and you should, but again, someone who's been in it for as long as he has, he's got that knowledge.
Absolutely.
And it's understandable, but it does go against the grain of a lot of what we're taught,
Of course. But that's the thing. That's the problem, is they're being taught that in school. Look how long ago they took away public prayer and saluting the flag. And, there's so much. I know you're a little younger than me, but I remember seeing the 12 commandments, or the 12 commandments.
12 commandments. These 15 commandments. These 10.
These 10 commandments.
History of the world.
It's history of the world, so awesome. But see, you can still be a God-fearing person and have a great sense of humor. Dr. Hovind's definitely proof of that. Us, we're just boneheads that fear God. But the thing is, you don't, especially nowadays. There's so many people. Hell, Einstein, what? I think 6th grade education, correct?
Something like that. Yeah.
Tesla. Well, no, Tesla went to university, so I can't say that.
Right.
But and people. The funny thing is, Tesla was so downplayed on his intellect. And
I kind of want to get Claude on the show here. I think we need to interview Claude. He's upset that he felt that Kent was dodging answers.
Well, that's because there's answers that he doesn't need to answer. That's the problem.
Yeah. I would totally watch the show. I would totally watch the showdown though.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So Claude, you know where to go. You know who to talk to. Give him a call, my man.
Yeah.
855
Big Dino?
Big Dino. BIGDINO. Call him up and let's hear it. Let's go. I'm ready. Apparently you've got time. So you need to hit him up. But we do not have much time.
Pay-per-view. Can we monetize that?
Oh my gosh. Maybe we could. And then buy us a trip down to Dinosaur Adventureland.
I want to zip line into Noah's Ark.
I want to zip line. and right through the arc. Hello.
Oh, right. Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Man.
Way too cool. All right, there it is. There's the end of the show music. So kids, thank you so much again. You know where to go check him out. drdino.com, Dr. Ken Hovind, and Dinosaur Adventureland. Everything that we were talking about, and so much more. His videos are on there as well. You can order them and get them. We, on the other hand, have to get ready for next week for a guest that we were going to have on, and then she had something come up, but she's going to be back with us. There she is, Satori Shakur, author, actor, writer, public speaker. She does a big thing on menopause, ladies and guys. Trust me, you need to hear and learn about menopause. If you have not heard and learned about it yet, this is good training. Trust me, you need to know, and to have a sense of humor about it is even way better. Very entertaining lady. She worked with P Funk, for God's sakes. I mean,
Yeah.
hello, this lady's got.
I'm excited to talk to her next week.
Oh yeah. We need to have her on. She's very excited and was very apologetic about not being able to make it. But when you're in a hospital bed, it's kind of hard.
Right.
So, unlike me, I suffer through illnesses. I got well just in time to do this show.
Boom.
So, and if you like anything that we did or had to say, please like, follow, and subscribe. Spread the word around, and let's have some fun. All right, guys. Again, we will be back next week. Same Bat Iron time, same Bat Iron channels. Yeah, we actually added some new channels. We're now on Rumble. We just added Instagram a few weeks ago. What else do we got? Rumble, Kick. Yeah. The kids like kicks, so there we are. We're in the kick. Kickity kick. Anyway, so yeah, we've got Rumble back on, and I know there was one more.
There was one more. Yeah, I forget. Yeah. Well, so it was interesting. We had comments coming in from X today. Which Dr. Hovind paired his X channel. So
right, yeah. We're not cool enough for X right now.
Yeah, after a hiatus from X, we had showed up thanks to Dr. Ken.
So yes, I'm so glad. Maybe they'll let us in. And TikTok. We're back on TikTok. That's what it was.
True. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Yeah, the tickety talkety gear thing. All right. So anyway, the only thing we're selling is us and God. So all right, guys. We love you. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. We're all we got out there. In the meantime, we will see you in a week and that time. So I keep going to the wrong.
Do you need me to get there?
You might as well hit the button because I can't see.
I'm hitting the button. There we go. Thanks so much, everybody.
Peace.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week.